What's up guys, Z here, and we are back. Sorry, I have been a little bit sick, so I have not been up on top of the videos like usual. However, I have a new build to show you for Season 7, Patch 2.4.2. Well, it's new for me. I haven't played the Witch Doctor before myself, personally, and I gave it a shot. And this is what I came up with so far. So what am I wearing? I'm wearing the Helltooth harness, the whole shindig except one piece, which can be interchangeable depending on which item you want to throw in Kanai's cube. But basically, I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you. It hovers around using your Wall of Death and Piranhas. That's the only two skills that I lay down. The rest of it comes from my pet damage, more specifically the gargantuan damage. The zombie dogs don't do diddly squat, but the gargantuans hit pretty heavily. Now, I'm able to have 4 dogs and 3 gargantuans due to a ring and the passes. So I'm not going to go over the set pieces, what they do, because you can read. If you want to, you can just pause and read it. But I threw intelligence stones in because it's like a 2-for-1 special with intelligence-based characters. You know how you usually put diamonds in for resistance? It's not as much resistance as if I threw a diamond in, because I think 1/10 of every intelligence point equals 1 resist point. So it'd be 28, 28, and 28 for 280, 280, 280. However, I'm getting a lot of resistances with a massive amount of intelligence, and you can see that they're pretty high. They're higher than any of my other characters by a long shot. Now, the armor's left some to be desired, but that's a different story. But the more intelligence equals the more damage. And the more damage I have, the more damage my gargantuans are dealing. So that's what's important. And in my head, I don't really need fast cooldown per se, like I do with some of my other builds. So I put in for more life. And my life is about 900k. Now, for the other set piece that we're doing, it's the Endless Walk. So when I'm standing still, I'm dealing double damage. And when I'm moving, I'm taking half damage. So, I mean, that's like a really great synergy to go with this build, because I'll move around and I run in, and I'll show you the rotation. You run in, you hit Soul Harvest, you run out with your Wall of Death and Piranhas and all that stuff going on. And you don't want to die. And then when you stand still, you want your damage to just start skyrocketing, so that's what happens. Now, for my legendary gems... Oh, the short man's finger is why I have 3 gargantuans, by the way. There's 3 of them. They're more powerful than the one of them was before. So, I mean, that's amazing. The legendary gems are Bane of the Trapped, where when they're slow, I deal more damage, and they're slow all the time. Enforcer for pet resistance, which, I mean, I've never, like, ever had them die at level 70. And increases their damage, which, why not? And then Bane of the Stricken, which is a pretty staple use for me. I mean, extra damage versus the Rift Guardians and bosses, which single target is always the hardest. And then each attack compiles. I mean, it's great. Now, this is not best in slot. There's, I forget what it's called, but there's a little hanging cat that you walk around with. And, but this is not bad. It's an ancient. You know, it takes some of the damage and puts it on my zombie dogs who... Like I said, my pets never die. So it just helps me stay alive a little longer. The cat one, however, it will reduce the first hit you take from an enemy by like a shit ton. I think it's like in the 70s percentage-wise. And it charms them for, I think, 3 seconds. So it turns them into your minion for a few seconds. So if you get like mobbed all of a sudden, you probably won't die. And they'll all start fighting each other so you can get away if there's like a big issue. And then for my main hand, the Sacred Harvester lets Soul Harvest stack to 10 times. And it's also ancient. I'm working on getting ancients for my set piece because I don't have any. At all, which kind of sucks because I want to start doing Kaldasan's Despair in there. I do have a regular Witching Hour for a little bit more damage. My critical hit is almost 400 and my hit chance is 38. Not too bad. Real quick look at the skills. Wall of Death, the communing with spirits. It'll put down a circle. It deals damage, which I don't really care too much, but it slows them down and reduces the damage they deal to me and my pets by 25%. Piranhas, it sucks everybody in with the Piranhado rune, and it deals a little bit of damage, which, again, I don't care, but The affected enemies take 15% increased damage, which I do care. Soul Harvest with Languish, it increases my intelligence for 10 stacks. Every stack is 3%. That's 30% base intelligence increase for 30 seconds. And it increases my armor by 10%. And now I have 10 stacks. It's 100%. And reduces the movement speed by 80%, which is not too bad. Spirit Walk is my get the hell out of there, run away. I usually use this when I'm running in to do a soul harvest on a huge pile of guys, because I will be unimpeded even by walls. They can't even do an elite mob with the walling. I can walk through that even, so it's really, really serious. It's only 3 seconds, so you have to be careful. The jaunt increases it to 3 seconds, so it gives me as much invulnerability time up as I can. Then Zombie Dogs with Leeching Beast. It makes their damage give life to me, which will help me stay alive. And then the Gargantuans, you want to use a Humongoid because it'll do a cleaving hit. So it hits everybody. So when they're inside that Piranado, they're going to get hit by the Gargantuans like freaking crazy. It's amazing. Confidence Ritual for the passive. I deal 25% extra damage when I'm within 20 yards. I'm always trying to stay pretty close to that Piranado. Grave Injustice, I gain 1% of my max life and mana, reduce the cooldown of all my skills to 1 second when any enemy dies in 20 yards. And this is increased range by your gold pickup radius. I think it's only at like 24 for me. It's not that serious, but again, I'm always close. It makes my cooldowns really fast, and it gives me some life and mana, which I don't really care. This is my cheat death. I actually usually have on Pierce the Veil, because I think, I'm not positive, but Pierce the Veil says all of your damage is increased by 20%. I'm assuming that makes my pets 20%, like get that 20%. But I haven't proven it, and I needed this as I was going on higher and higher greater rifts, so that's what I'm doing. At Midnight Feast, the damage of my dogs and Gargantuan is increased by 50%, and I get an extra zombie dog. Hell yes. Alright, so now that you've seen the shindigs, my Paragon's at 648, just in case you were wondering. Now, this build is freaking awesome. I would actually recommend this build for a hardcore. I would say I would mostly recommend it. You do have generally good survivability because you have the pets blocking a lot of the stuff in the way. I would just say with hardcore mode, be more cautious than I will be when I run stuff. Let's run a Neff Rift. I'm on Torment 13, by the way. I don't play in anything else with this character, at least. So what you do is you want to throw down the Wall of Death, and what it does is it triggers the extra damage from my pets, and it's like 1500% or something, and you can see that they just smash right through it. I really don't have to do anything. This is a really very easy build to run. I mean, you don't do shit. And then I can just grab a channeling pylon, and now I can just spam it all over the place. Just tornadoes of piranhas all over the place. And you can see my health. I mean, as soon as it gets low, I hit my phase walk or spirit walk, and I'm invulnerable. And I could run through anything, like I said. So it's really, really handy on greater rifts, like 70 and above. Or even 65. 65 can still kind of mess you up a little bit. But this is Torment 13. I know I said a long time ago when Season 7 dropped that I wanted to do my Demon Hunter on Torment 13 to show you how it was. And honestly, I'm just going to break the news to you. This character, when I'm finally done with the season, might actually be comparable or surpass, possibly, my Demon Hunter non-seasonal. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy, because this build, admittedly, is a very slow... Like, I can't directly tell them where to go, besides summoning them on an enemy. So it's not like with the Demon Hunter, I can just blast through a rift, like, no problem. Here, I kind of have to, like, let them do their thing and buff them when I can. Try not to die. That's about it. But with the Demon Hunter, you can just blast through. There's no restriction. You go as fast as you can go. But what I want to tell you is I actually tried to run the same clear as I did with my Demon Hunter, which the max that I ran with her in the past was Greater Rift 69. Now, I wanted to see if this character could match that. So I went and I did a Greater Rift 69. And I beat it. But it was harder to beat, if memory serves me correctly, than with my Demon Hunter. I beat it. The Rift Guardian was giving me the most trouble, honestly. Because when I was fighting the Rift Guardian, it would, like, come after me and ignore the pets. And it was, like, almost one-shotting me every time. And I know I don't focus on cooldown reduction very much, but my my minions take a while to come back. Like, I can't just cast them over and over and over. So it was really being a pain in my ass because I can't do anything without them. So I had to wait till my body cooldown was done, and then I had to resummon my shit again. And I eventually took him down, but I think I had like 45 seconds left. So it was like a clear by the skin of my teeth. So it's a clear. I mean, a clear is a clear. Don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. But I wouldn't consider that a full clear. That was like a barely. I don't know if I'd be able to replicate it, depending on which Nephirim seed, which Greater Rift seed I get again. I mean, every Rift, there's, like I've explained before, there's different speeds that you can go through them, depending on what kind they are, what enemies they typically house, and how many champions seem to be around. So yeah, by the way, why I'm running the Scoundrel, he's not even geared out. But just for that extra crit hit chance, that's honestly the only reason. I don't care about anything else that he does. It doesn't help me in the slightest. But, I mean, take the build for what it is. It's a very lazy build. If you're used to like a Crusader with bombardment build, like I touched on before, there's a lot of timing involved, and you have to pay attention a lot. With this one, I mean, I like literally walk around. Do I want the item? Do I not want the item? Oh, let me throw down Wall of Death. Okay, how about a little Cyclone of Piranhas? You don't do anything. It's very easy. And I mean, I know it doesn't seem like my pets would do a lot of damage, because typically they don't. But I mean, versus a Rift Guardian where I can like really consistently see the number, the damage ticks, my gargantuans were hitting for like 60 billion on their crits. And I was like, holy shit, dude. That's pretty heavy. Off of a pet. I mean, the zombie dogs do like, I would say like a tenth or less. It's pretty big difference on how much they do. But they keep me alive. They help my health stay where it needs to be. But yeah, you see me run in. I get my 10 stacks of Soul Harvest. It boosts my intelligence over 13k. And it keeps my armor a smidge better. It just helps me survive a little bit better. So, yeah, that's the gist of this character. But yeah, Helltooth, Witch Doctor with the Endless Walk to complement it. And it does work, guys. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed. This is the 2.4.2 Helltooth build with the Endless Walk on top of it. Oh, shit. I totally forgot. My Canias Cube is as follows. The Ring of Royal Grandeur, so I can have 5 pieces of the set instead of 6, because you can see I'm only wearing 5, but I have the 6 set bonus. The Mask of Jerome, so I have pets deal 100% extra damage. And the Furnace, so I deal 50% extra damage to elites. Now, the Tasker and Theo, I didn't really cover, and I should have, but it increases attack speed of my pets by 50%, and it's a perfect roll. So this is why, and it's ancient. So this is why I kept this instead of the gloves from the Helltooth set to wear, because it's ancient and it has a perfect roll. So I didn't need to throw it over here, and the Mask of Jiram was not a perfect roll, so I threw it into the Kanai's Cube. It depends on which one you get and what roll it has on it. If it's a perfect Mask of Jiram, then throw it up here instead of the Helltooth mask, and vice versa like I have it. It's kind of interchangeable. And the Furnace is just a shoe-in because I don't have a lot of things open, but I mean, it does the most damage across the board because you're trying to hit elite packs, especially in the Greater Rifts, and dealing extra damage to those packs is what's going to get you through faster. So that's the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Later.